If you want to fly between here in Hong Kong and Australia, you've only really had two options. That is fly Cathay Pacific or fly Qantas. But that's all about to change because from June 2025, Hong Kong Airlines are about to start daily flights between Sydney and Hong Kong. But who are Hong Kong Airlines? Where do Hong Kong Airlines fly? What planes do Hong Kong Airlines fly? And what is the Hong Kong Airlines experience like? Those are several badly worded questions, but ones that I do hope to answer in this video, because tomorrow morning when I wake up very early, I'm actually flying from here in Hong Kong across to Seoul in South Korea, and I'm doing that with Hong Kong Airlines. So I thought I'd bring you along so you could see exactly what the experience is like.
It is HX628. Ah, thank you.
Okay, finished.
Thank you. A couple of quick early thoughts on Hong Kong Airlines now that I'm here at the airport. First of all, the staff have been very helpful, showing me which kiosk to use, how to use the bag drop area. Secondly, the kiosks, if you're worried about like speaking or reading local languages, there's multiple languages that you can translate it into. Thirdly, the thing that I was really impressed by, and I'm seeing this more and more, especially in airports here in Southeast Asia, is there's a lot of biometric recognition that goes on. So normally when you're checking your bag in, you get your boarding pass, obviously, which you then scan your boarding pass and that attaches your booking to your bag tag. The two are then linked and your bag goes off. You don't need to scan any boarding passes here. You basically just look into the camera and the facial recognition ties into your passport, which they already have on file because I scanned that at the kiosk, and using your face instead of using your boarding pass is how it attaches your booking to your bag. I just think that's really cool. Another way that technology is helping make this whole air travel thing a lot more seamless, a lot faster. All right, now we've got to go through security. So Hong Kong Airlines have been around for about the last 20 years and they operate a fleet of only Airbus aircraft, primarily out of here in Hong Kong, but servicing around 20 destinations in Southeast Asia. The aircraft that are going to be flying between Hong Kong and Sydney in the future on the daily route, that's going to be an Airbus A320, but I'm going to just be on, it's about 3.5 hour flight to Seoul today, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be on an A320. Also, have a look at the view in this place, really. Very quick aside for a second, if you are going to be coming to Hong Kong, potentially with Hong Kong Airlines, but if you're here at Chek Lap Kok Airport, give yourself just like an extra 15 minutes to come up onto this Sky Bridge area. It's located between gates 13 to 22 here in the main terminal, and the cool thing is it's the bridge that goes over the taxiway, and not only can you stand here and watch the planes from afar, I mean look at the views out here, but it's got a glass floor at the edge so you can walk and you can basically have the planes go underneath your feet. Alright, as usual I've spent way too long in an airport just mucking around, taking pictures, just enjoying being here and not realising that my flight's actually boarding in a second. If you are coming to Hong Kong, don't do what I did and leave it till the last minute because this is a big terminal. As I get ready to board, let me tell you a little bit more about this flight that we're on today and what you actually get when you're flying with Hong Kong Airlines. Just after I take a quick picture of this Singapore Airlines 737 that's there. One sec, I'm going to be late. Hong Kong Airlines then, they were founded in 2001 and they're actually a subsidiary of the Chinese company Hainan Airlines. Whoops, leaving us a bit late. But they're no stranger to flying in and out of Australia because Hong Kong Airlines have already operated A330 services to the Gold Coast here in Australia during some of our recent holiday seasons. Hello. Sorry. But their new route between Sydney and Hong Kong, that's going to start on the 20th of June 2025. I think I may be the last person to board. Oh, silly boy. The Hong Kong Airlines flights are going to be HX17, that's the Hong Kong to Sydney leg. That leaves at night time, flies through the night and lands at Sydney the next morning. And HX18, which is the return flight from Sydney to Hong Kong, that one goes just before midday and will get you to Hong Kong around 7:15 in the evening. Hello, thank you. Thank you. Sorry.
Flight time today expecting a 3 hours flight northbound to Incheon. Expected cruise at 35,000. Please sit back and relax on your flight. Thank you.
The economy seat that I had on the A320, now of course it's a little bit different to the A330, but basically the economy seat you'll get between Sydney and Hong Kong is what you'd expect on a lower cost carrier like this. It's a pretty basic economy seat in a 242 configuration. There's no onboard Wi-Fi, so I'd generally recommend with this sort of flight, I mean you're saving money on the ticket price, so potentially bring along your own food, and I would say bring along your own entertainment as well. There will be a business class cabin on board the A330s that are flying between Sydney and Hong Kong, and whilst it's a relatively basic business class compared to what you would get, especially on Cathay Pacific's new Aria suites and on board Qantas, it is still a bigger seat with more legroom, and I wouldn't compare it to something like Jetstar that you might think it's similar to, which if you've flown Jetstar business class into Southeast Asia, you'll know that's more of a premium economy type product than a business class product. If you're a frequent flyer looking to earn points, well, Hong Kong Airlines aren't actually part of any of the major alliances, but they do have an agreement with Virgin Australia, meaning that you can earn velocity points when you fly on Hong Kong Airlines. Now the earn rate is based on the cabin class that you're flying, but I did a quick calculation. The distance between Sydney to Hong Kong, that's 4,595 miles. And if you're flying economy, say, again, depending on the ticket type that you buy, you're still roughly going to get around 3,000 to 6,000 velocity points each way when you fly with Hong Kong Airlines. Out of Hong Kong Airlines, Cathay Pacific and Qantas that fly this route, Hong Kong Airlines, from what I've seen, is generally going to be the cheapest. Cathay Pacific sits somewhere in the middle, with Qantas being the more expensive out of the three.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Seoul Incheon International Airport. The local time is now 1:35 in the afternoon and the temperature is 10 degrees Celsius. On behalf of the entire crew, we would like to thank all of you and unfortunately Scott members for choosing Hong Kong Airlines. We hope to see you again soon. Thank you and have a pleasant day.
Why is it that everything in these big major Southeast Asian airports, everything just runs so well? It's so efficiently done. Like, immigration was busy. There were probably 4 or 5 flights that had come in around the same time as mine. And the queue just kept moving. I think it took about 10 minutes, maybe 15, to get from the gate to immigration, through immigration. I guess that's one of the nice things about travel, isn't it? You get to see how other people do things. Here's my bag.
It's hard to get a true idea of what it's like on an 8-hour long-haul flight, which will be the case between Australia and Hong Kong, from a 3-hour flight, which is the one that I just took. But I hope that gives you a rough idea of what Hong Kong Airlines are actually like to fly. And the most positive thing that I can take out of this is the very fact that there is another entrant in the market. They're not Cathay Pacific and they're not Qantas, but I think the nice thing is that they're not Cathay and they're not Qantas. It's nice to have a new entrant in the market that actually does offer something different. Now, if you want a quick preview of a video that's coming up on the channel,